chef. All right, let me make sure that we are to where people can see us. Cool. Are you able to like I guess turn on the light to where we can see you a little bit better?
Trying. I can get out the car, but it's just cold as shit out there.
Oh,
Hold
or if you can go to the if you're able to go to the back seat. What?
on. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. It's a little better.
Oh, much better. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
No doubt.
All right, everybody. So we are here with Derrick Bivens. Derrick Bivens is the owner of Billionaire Burger Boys. And then you also have a couple of other ventures that you've got going on too as well. So tell us a little bit about those other two ventures that you also own. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
You can hear me?
I
Why
can
does
hear you
this thing
now.
just mute on its own?
It's
I
got a
didn't
mind
even
of its
press
own.
mute.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we have of course Billionaire Burger Boys is the brand that I started. But we do gourmet burgers, wings, jambalaya fries, and chicken sandwiches as well. Um, but I started that with the food truck. We ended up getting a restaurant. Well, we got two trucks, but one of the trucks ended up burning down, and we just kind of, let it go. But we have the restaurant now in Compton, and we actually just started a venture last year where we're doing pizza. So we have a pizza restaurant in Compton as well. That's right around the corner from our burger restaurant. And then,
Okay.
of course, Solo's Kitchen is something that I actually started before Billionaire Burger Boys. But Billionaire Burger Boys just kind of took off, and I ended up putting Solo Kitchen on a back burner.
Yeah.
And COVID gave me a lot of time to do stuff. So, it put me in creative mode. So I got to, doing videos and posting content like with that. And it just sparked something else. So I actually started doing that more often now, doing catering and private chef gigs. And, every day I'm getting called for something different, so it's
Nice.
like that's taken off now. And of course, it's, more so now than, before because Billionaire Burger Boys is what it is,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
of course,
sir.
people know me for, these extravagant dishes that I create,
Yes,
so
sir. Yes, sir.
yeah.
All right, so we got a couple people that came in the room. We got brother Will and sister Precious. They both asking about your singing, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, y'all. Don't even we're gonna
Oh,
get
I
to
ain't
that
on
later.
Facebook, so I don't even know what's going on over there.
And then brother James, he's saying support black business. So everybody who's just
Okay.
coming into the room, we have Derrick Bivens. He is the owner of Billionaire Burger Boys, along with Solo's Kitchen, and also he has a pizza spot that he's also recently opened up. And so we're going to be, having a conversation with him about his business and what he has to offer to our community. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. So Derrick, man, where did your passion for culinary arts begin?
Um, I don't know if I would say it was a passion. Uh, it was just kind of like one of those things where it's like I can naturally cook. Then like my mom, she cooked, my aunt, so I used to watch them cook. I had two brothers that were chefs, as well as my uncle. My uncle was the first person that I had known that was an actual chef, um,
Wow.
or knew of that was an actual chef. I was probably about when I was a kid, is before he passed. He passed when I was 10. So
This is your
like,
uncle?
yeah, my uncle.
Yeah.
Literally a week after my mom passed. That's what's crazy. But they were like best friends and whatnot. But he worked at the Viscount Hotel, which is like it used to be on aviation or something like that. So I would go to the hotel for like on Christmas, for example. They would do like a big dinner and have Santa Claus and give away gifts or whatever. And they would do that for their employees, you know. So we would go and get this nice, beautiful layout with breakfast. And that was my first like account of like some gourmet type, you know, setting or food or so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that it didn't really spark anything for me. Um I was more so interested in music. Music
Okay.
was like my first love. Music was something that I wanted to pursue. I thought I was going to be one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah.
But due to
Yeah.
circumstances, you know, it kind of took me out of that. But yeah, music was where it was at. Food didn't really come around until uh, about 2013 when I got fired from Walmart. How about
Okay.
that?
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
I've always known how to cook. I used to help my brother. You know, I used to, you know, so I've always known how to cook. I cooked my first full Thanksgiving dinner when I was like 13. You know, the
Wow.
whole layout. You know, so I've always been abreast when it comes to the cooking. But you know, it was that moment when I got fired from Walmart. It was like I was in a place where I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with myself because
Yeah.
after I leave one job, you know, I'm usually set up for another, or if I'm not, you know, I'm always trying to figure out, okay, what's the next move? So I was literally sitting on my couch and I'm watching TV and I'm just going over things in my head and okay, I need to find a job. I need to find one quick. I need to find one that's good, you know.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, yo, just find a job, period.
Okay.
On the other hand, I'm like, what can I do that I love that doesn't feel like work?
Mm.
And as I'm sitting here pondering this question, and this is a true story. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm full of anecdotes, but they're actually true stories, like true accounts.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there on my couch watching TV, my kids running around, I got babies and all kind of crazy stuff going on in the background, and you know, and a Le Cordon Bleu commercial came on.
Ooh.
First Everest commercial came on.
Okay. Okay.
You know, what you doing? You sitting there on the couch, you ain't doing nothing because you know in the daytime they got, you know, you watching BET, they gonna show you the Everest commercial, they gonna show you all the different
Right. Right.
ITT Tech and UTI and the CIU and the, you know, BYC and the, you know, they gonna show all the different schools that you can be going to instead of sitting your ass at the house watching Maury Povich.
Right. Right. Right.
So yeah, Le Cordon Bleu commercial came on, and of course the light bulb went off over my head. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "Yo, that's exactly it." So I actually go to Le Cordon Bleu in Pasadena. I was living in Lancaster at the moment.
Okay.
I went to the school. I enrolled. Went and got fitted for my uniform and the whole nine. And I was sitting at home, and I'm like, okay, you know, my wife at the time, we only had one car. I wasn't going to be working, so therefore, it's going to be pretty expensive to travel back and forth to Pasadena every day, and I had to go to school 5 days a week. So once I found all of that out, I'm like, ooh, how am I gonna do this?
Yeah.
Um, and so I was like, let me just search and see if it's a school closer. Because at that point, you know, before then, I had only knew of Le Cordon Bleu. But once I went to searching with them, that's when I realized it was other actual culinary schools. And so I did a search, and University of Antelope Valley came up. They had a culinary program, a 9-month program, and I went and checked in, and you know that was the start of the grind. I actually had a job like 2 to 3 months in, working at the Hilton Garden Inn, and I was a short order cook, so it was good for me because I literally had a full menu of items that I had to execute myself. Like, so we would have
Wow.
people come down to the bar and to the restaurant to eat. We also had room service. So literally, like anything from steak and potatoes to mashed to fried chicken, pasta dishes, so on and so forth. Literally, I had to cook all of that stuff myself. And the way the kitchen was set up, it was not built for a fat person. you know,
Okay.
in
Okay.
the front, I have in the front of the kitchen, I had, my stove and my oven and so on and so forth, the fryer. And then in the back of the kitchen, I had my oven, my convection ovens and my char broiler.
Yeah.
So I was literally, it was like a wall with two doors. So I was running circles around this kitchen, putting these orders together. So it helped a lot getting my chops up. And, of course, it just made me fall in love with it even more because I'm a big fan of the grind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So uh did that, and it was good for me at that time. And then once I graduated school, I came down to LA and I joined a couple of different culinary agencies. And
Okay.
I
Okay.
started grinding like that, like because my instructor, shout out to Chef Marcus, he told me, basically, like, if when you're starting out in this industry, it's not shunned upon to move from job to job. They
Mm,
actually find that interesting, or they're more interested in someone that has worked at different places,
mm.
as opposed to someone that just had a job at this one spot,
Oh,
because it's
that's
like,
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because there's different
Okay.
types of things. Like you have a banquet chef, you have a short order cook, you have a line cook. And when it comes to line cooks, that's just a whole different vibe. That's your when you go to like your casual restaurants, your Fridays, your Chili's,
Yeah.
even with the high end restaurants, like they have line cooks. So you have a bunch of cooks back there working together to put one plate together and get it out in 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's all about speed, it's all about accuracy and efficiency.
Right. Okay.
So you can't do that if you're a banquet cook. A lot of people that go from
Mm,
being a banquet cook or a banquet chef to doing like line cook, they be like they be in the weeds simply because it's a different pace. With the banquet chef, you prep and stuff. You come in early in the morning, you prep out, and then at a certain time you start firing off food, which means you start putting it in the ovens or searing it, frying it, whatever the process is to start putting it, and
hmm.
then a lot of times you putting it in big pans and plating it, or you setting a buffet style. So the pace is
Right.
just totally different,
Mm,
from being a line cook. So it's just different variations of being a chef, that you want to touch upon. And I was able to do all of that. I worked in Wolfgang Puck's kitchens. I worked in a few
ooh,
of his
really?
kitchens. Yeah,
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Hotel. I actually went there as a temp, and I went in one day, and the chef was real cool. The head chef, the executive chef, he was real cool. And Amadeus came in, and he was like, he wanted a steak. And so he put the request in. His name was Hugo. That was the chef's name, Chef Hugo. He put
Okay.
the request in to him for a steak because, of course, that's his right hand man. He hired him to run his kitchen. And Hugo wants to get like he liked me and he liked the way I get down. Like he just liked my whole style of cooking, and how efficient I was. And he was like, "You want to make a steak?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." And I made the steak, and he told him that it was the best steak he had ever had. And I was like,
Ooh.
whoa, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
of course he
Pat on the
didn't tell him
back.
that it was for me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't give me my props, but
Of course. He's like, oh no, you ate the best thing you ever had. I
right.
made it.
Yeah, of course. But
Right.
whatever.
Right.
I'm used to that. That's not even a problem. So yeah, man, and that happened. It was just a bunch of different things I did. I worked with a lot of great chefs, prominent chefs that a lot of people don't even know about, or just to the common consumer, they don't know about these chefs. You really have to be a part of this world in order to even know who these people are. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a lot of that, and so then, am I telling you the story, or
No, you telling me the story.
we
Break
good?
it down
Am I
for
doing
me.
this right now?
Break it down for me, bro. I'm
All
loving
right,
this.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that happened, and that was going great, and but I found myself getting these corporate jobs that started feeling like the dead end jobs that I had worked prior to me becoming a chef,
Mm,
because in the corporate
okay.
structure is different. You know, when you're working in the private sector, or you working directly with the owner of a restaurant or a facility, it's a lot different than working in corporate. You know, there's rules, there's all kind of structure. It's a whole structure set up in corporate, and it's a hierarchy, and then it's politics, of course.
Hmm.
And then you got unions in some places, and it just was kind of crazy. So, I felt myself like it started feeling like work again,
Okay. Okay.
and I wasn't liking that.
Right.
Um, and so I ended up I quit my job, and I was like looking for work, and I ended up getting a private chef gig, and I started doing that, and I made a lot of money doing that. Worked in this nice big mansion, working for this some type of campaign where they had these people that was working, you know, some 24 hours a day. So they would have me make breakfast, lunch, and dinner for them every day, and that was actually pretty cool. And it kind
Yeah.
of gave me a resurgence.
Wow.
So fast forward, I stopped doing that, and then I ended up starting the meal prep company. I'm sure
Culinary
you're aware of
extraordinaire.
Culinary Extraordinaire.
I
That
remember
was
that. Yes, sir.
that
Yes,
was
sir.
the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey with this, whole chef thing. And I started that doing a meal prep, and I was doing catering and different things like that. And just things didn't work out, the way I planned or the way I liked them to, So I ended up, just going ahead and moving on from that. And,
Hmm.
one day I was working, I would just get odd jobs, and I had met the chef that was working at a school. He actually was running this kitchen at a school, so he would hire me to come and help on certain days. So, I was grinding doing that, and I took my pay from the week and went and
Hmm.
bought me a little flat top. Went downtown and
Yeah.
bought me a little flat top. Like, I'm gonna start
Hmm.
doing tacos. Like, forget it.
Yes, sir.
And
I remember this. Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
So look, I bought it, and it was just sitting in my living room, and I never would get up and do nothing. And my boy Rick, that's like my best friend. I've known him since he was 16, and he would come out to Palmdale and hang out with me sometimes. So he was there one day, and he was like, "Bro, I got some food stamps, bro. Like, let's go to the store and get some stuff, and let's sell some food."
Come on. Yes,
So
sir.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"All right, cool, bro." We didn't have no car. We walked to the grocery store,
Yeah.
got the food, walked back, and I filmed it the whole way there. Like, I'm clowning, talking, and posting videos of me going to the store, coming back, and then I posted that I was selling, and I sold out that first night. Like, it was crazy.
Mm.
They came and bought all that food, and I did that a couple of days. Then people start hitting me up like, "Yo, come to this construction site, or we doing solar panels over here," or it was just a bunch of that. So I started going up there. I started going to the Rite Aid warehouse, which is like deep in Lancaster, far west, just stuff like that. So I was learning they lunch breaks and going up there. Like, I was just grinding. Like, every day I would wake up at like 4 a.m., make some breakfast burritos, go to the construction site, sell breakfast burritos. And then I would go back and prepare for lunch and go back and go do lunch, you
Yeah.
know. And then I start coming to downtown LA. So I would come and do downtown LA Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and
Yeah.
sometimes Sunday. And
Okay.
I was across the street from this spot called Griselda's, some taco spot,
Hmm.
and they start hating on me
Taking all their
because
customers.
right, I'm over there. I got a full ass menu, like sliders, nachos, loaded fries, tacos, burritos. Man, I had it all. And they called the police on me. And the police was like, "We don't care about you being out here, but the business owners are complaining and so on and so forth." And that was right
Of
before
course. Of
they
course.
yeah. Because I would have, like, of course, like where I was set up, it was a club on this side on the right of me, and it was a club on the left of me. And I was set up in front of a parking lot.
Hmm.
So everybody either came to this parking lot or passed this parking lot to go to their car. And they would all stop, and I would have crowds and crowds of people around me just buying food.
Yeah.
And this one dude, he used to come and he would stand there and just be eating tacos. And anybody that walked up, he would just buy their food, and
Mm.
he'd end up with a $200 bill and pay it and go home. And, and then I'll see him the next week and he'll do the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was a vibe. Like it was definitely a vibe. But it was right before they passed the law where street vendors could legally set up on the street, as long as they
Okay.
had a seller's permit. But it was a big thing to where there was a whole coalition that was started to get that set in place because the police was just basically shutting people down. They was going kicking over their carts and taking their food and throwing it away. Like they was being
Oh my,
savages about it.
oh
Like
my
it was
God.
crazy, you
Wow.
know. And they definitely showed me a lot of respect. They showed me love. Like some of the cops had even eaten my tacos. So like they wasn't tripping so much, but it's like, of course, we got to do our job because this restaurant is complaining. So after that, it was like, all right, cool, regroup, figure it out, And then I was working at a production kitchen, like cooking food for like movie sets. So we would do like a bunch of mass production, you know. And I was working up under a chef that was just like this. Oh my god, he was just horrible. He was like a big. You know how your manager is a person that like abuses their power or like, they were the weak person when they were growing up, and
Okay.
now they're in a position of power and they're kind of abusing it, and then of course there's a whole bunch of Hispanics that that was fresh from all, they just jumped the gate. You know what I'm saying? They
Hmm.
just hopped out somebody's trunk, and they
Yeah.
needed a
Yeah.
job, and that's where they would go to places like that. I'm dead
Okay.
ass serious though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah. I
know,
hear you. I hear you.
I'm like, I'm not even talking shit. Like, I'm
Right.
so
Right.
serious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it was like, it was a bunch of them. So he would just talk to them like they would have tails, like, and all he needed to do was talk to me like that one time, and that was enough for me. I had to check him and put him in his place, but that also just made me feel like, yo, this ain't for me. Like, I don't need to be working for nobody. So I started doing my thing, and my girl Jen, she just encouraged me, like, yo, whatever you want to do, like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I've got your back. So she actually found the coffee shop that I started doing pop-ups at. And I started doing that, and that got too crazy. And the neighbors start calling the police on us for that and code
Yeah.
enforcement. And it was just a whole bunch of crap, man. Like the last straw was one day I had prepped up all my food, had my stuff ready to go, and I'm loading it in my car to go up there,
Yeah.
and I get a call from the owner of the shop saying that code enforcement is here and they said you can't set up today. And I was so devastated because I had to call an audible. And so I
Hmm.
had to be like, make a post real quick, like, yo, I'm not gonna be there. I'm gonna be at the house, and you know, hit me up, or hit me up to order, and I'll meet you at the gas station up the street, so on and so forth. So I
Yeah.
did that, and of course, people responded. But I know that had I went and set up at the coffee shop, I would have did 10 times better than I did at the house.
Right.
You
Right.
know,
Right.
but the house was working out. I started selling out the house, and it was just working. It wasn't the same numbers, but it was still it was enough. And I
Right.
put money
Right.
together with my cousin, my brother. We put our little change together, and that's how I ended up getting the truck.
Got you.
And got that rolling. Tried some things with my boy Three Stacks. And then that's when Smokehouse called me, and he was just having a situation, where he was down on his luck. His car had just got repoed. Somebody had just stole all his money, and so he didn't really have no bread. But he's like, "Yo, I got these jambalaya fries that everybody love. Can I bring them on the truck with you? Just for a day, just so I can make my money and get up and go do my thing."
Yeah.
And mind you, I had just met him 2 months before. And it was just because I had seen him on Instagram and I pulled up on him just to check him out because we did like similar food. So I pulled up on him just to support him, show him love, and try his food. And I loved it. His food was good. And when we chopped it up, we had a drink. He would be out there at his uncle's shop like making these sandwiches, Phillies and stuff, and he'd make you a mixed cocktail, make you a margarita or something while you waiting.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's just the type of cat that he is. So um like we chopped it up, and so he ended up coming later on and checking me out, one time. And so when he made the call, it was kind of like, yeah, whatever, nigga, like you cool, like you folks, like I rock with you.
Right. Right.
And yeah, we did that, and it just he came on the truck that one day, and we just kept going.
And so y'all been on the truck ever since.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The burgers came by accident. Like with the burgers, it was just one of those things. Me and him was having a debate on whether it was good to have fresh cut fries or frozen fries. Having
Okay.
frozen fries is more efficient. Like it's faster. We don't have to cut no fries. We just drop them suckers in the fryer and bada bing, bada boom. The fresh cut
Yeah.
fries, we have to chop them down and then, of course, cook them is just a whole nother process. And so we were debating, and he's like, yo, you know, like, what do you like better? And I was like, the fresh cuts, of course. And so he was like, well, there it is there. Like, so we went with the fresh cut fries, and we still had a case of the frozen fries.
Okay. Okay.
So the plan is, let's make some chili cheese fries so we can sell these fries off. Boom. Easy call, right?
Right.
So I buy the ingredients to do that. I just didn't do it. So it'd be like 3 or 4 days had passed by,
Mm-hmm.
and I still hadn't done nothing with these fries. Pretty much I had threw the fries away
Mm-hmm.
because at this point they weren't even frozen no more because we didn't have a freezer on the truck. So I threw those fries away, and we still had this roll of ground beef, and I had like some buns on the truck, some brioche buns on the truck,
Yeah.
and I made what is now the Big Brutus. That was the
Okay.
first burger that was ever made. I made that burger, and I posted it, and it probably got like 300 likes. I'm not sure, but it got a couple hundred likes, and I didn't think nothing of it. I wasn't tripping, whatever. It's a burger. I've
Yeah.
done them before. I had sold burgers. I had a burger called the Clusterfuck, and it was
Ooh.
just this. It was
That must have
like,
been a real good burger.
oh yeah, it was. It was
Yeah.
like the Big Brutus on steroids.
Got you.
Um, so when I did the Big Brutus, I made it, and Smoke looked at it and was like, "That looked like that the name of that burger is the Big Brutus." And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yeah, that's tight." So we posted it. Like I said, it got the likes, and so fast forward like a couple days later, we're on the truck to get together. It was slow, and so we both decided to make burgers.
Yeah.
So I made what is now the shrimp surf and turf, and he made what is now the smokehouse stack.
Okay.
All of these burgers are still in rotation on our menu, and people love them. Like they're some of our best sellers, actually.
Cool.
Um,
Nice.
so we made those burgers, and we put them side by side and took a picture of them in front of the truck, and it got like over 1,000 likes within an hour or so. And we looked at each other. You remember on what is that? Coming to America, when he threw the guys the money, and it
Yeah.
was Randolph and
Yeah.
Mortimer, and he's like, we're back. So it was like we had that moment. Like we looked at each other like we doing burgers. And
Wow.
so we
Wow.
started doing burgers right after that. And it started cracking. We didn't have a name. And we were trying to figure out names. And, me and Jill was sitting up one day. And she's looking at the burgers on the pictures and stuff like that. And I was on the phone with Smoke, and we was coming up with all kind of crazy names. I remember one of them was called 99 Burgers or something like that, because we were like, we're gonna create 99 different burgers. Like we were so just enthusiastic about it. Like, yo, we're gonna create some of the most crazy burgers and all this
Yeah.
other crap.
Right. Right. Right.
And she was looking at the burgers and was like, yo, these look like $1 billion burgers. She was like, y'all should be the Billionaire Burger Boys. And we were like, yes, that's it.
That's the name. That's the
That's the
name.
name. We went with that. We went to the swap meet the very next day, created the logo right there with the dude that do the t-shirts and all that, and got it
Yeah.
printed up, and we actually ended up getting a call from these people at Fox Studios to just pull up to their office because they had seen us on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
with these burgers, and they were like, yo, we have to have some. So they called us out. So we scrambled to go and get these shirts made so we can go up and look all professional and look like, we've been doing this.
Yeah. Right.
We pull up and we do that, and it was a success. They all came out, all these, white people in suits and, like suit dresses. You know how the women dress in corporate world and shit like that. So,
Right.
and these executives, and they all at our truck on the
Right.
corner in Century City on Century Park West
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
like Consolation, like,
Mm-hmm.
and that area, ain't no parking on the street over there. But we
Right.
pulled our truck up right there in front of their building and was selling them food, which was crazy to me. But yeah, and it just kind of just took off from there, man.
Yeah.
I set up all our social media, and I set up our online, with Google and Yelp and different things like that, and created the logos, and just whatever. Just started getting more structure to it, and it just took a life of its own.
Nice.
You know.
Hey, so I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna just jump in here real quick because man, people have been showing up in this comment section for you. I had to
Oh
let you
wow.
tell. I had to let you tell the story, but they've been showing up in here. So I gotta get back
Word,
to these
word.
comments and see what these people been saying about you.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, good things.
yeah. Oh, definitely. So we're gonna start with Lady O. So Lady O is one of our board of directors. I'm not sure if you knew
Oh,
this.
word.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So she says, "Hey D, congratulations and many, many blessings to you. I'm so proud of you and all that
Yeah.
you have accomplished. Glory to God. And yes, I would love for you to be in one of our upcoming productions."
I love that woman.
Yes. And so Will, he wanted you to talk about culinary extraordinaire, which you sort of went over and talked about. There's some people in here who want me and you to do a duet.
Wow.
So they want that to happen. So our executive director, TJ Robinson, she says, "I love how Derrick is so honest and forthcoming and passionate about
Oh
doing
yeah.
something he loves and the refusal to not settle."
Right. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Um, Precious says, "Your commitment to the grind and making opportunities our people in our community is inspiring."
Word.
I'm telling you,
Word.
they've been lighting it up for you. Lady O again, make it do what it do, D. Your story is compelling and lets us know that a man with a dream and a passion can accomplish much.
No doubt. That's dope.
Yeah. And then Precious again, behind every successful man is a woman. Shout out to the queen of the logo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
She gave us her name. She the reason why, we multinational now.
that's
You know what
awesome,
I'm
man.
saying? Like that name is just catchy. That's what's so beautiful about it. It's just one of those names where it's hard to forget. And then our logo, you know, um, we came up with the star, and then the newer logo, like it's an old logo that a lot of people don't even know exists. Which is actually my chain. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just
Okay.
a circle with a star in the
Oh
middle with the
wow,
BBs.
wow,
So this
wow.
is the
Okay.
original logo. Like this is what we had shirts, like when Ninth Wonder, well, Bad Luck actually called us to come to the studio with Ninth Wonder and Problem and Rhapsody, Shanice, all them people, Tony Baker. And this is the logo. We went and got some more t-shirts. We was fly that day too.
Yeah,
But we went and hung out with them and
yeah.
created relationships and bonds with them that's still prevalent to this day. So yeah, definitely, man.
Now,
It's been a blessing.
what's this Bear Soul Entertainment that we're talking about?
Oh, Will, he going old school. Whew, that's a whole nother story. I think we need a whole nother because like that was just another part of my life. Like I said, that was my first dream. Music is like where my heart is. I'm actually working on an EP right now,
Oh, okay.
that I'm trying to put out. I'm trying to get it done before my birthday. Because the one thing that I've always wanted to do is just have an official release.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's going to be a full length album or EP, but I low key want it to be a full length because all right, I got interludes and stuff, and just the concept behind the whole record um, is going to need different elements, that you wouldn't find on the EP.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure that out right now. But I'm definitely getting back in the studio. I've built my studio in my house again, so I'm getting back to work.
Yeah.
Been working with a couple of different producers and whatnot. Just trying to get that back going. But yeah,
Hmm.
Bear Soul Entertainment was my baby. That was me, just doing the same thing that I'm doing now, pretty much. Like
Yeah.
MySpace was my Instagram. I've had hundreds of thousands of plays on my music. My fan base was massive. I was really interactive with a lot of people. They had different ways that you could touch the people and get information to the people. And I utilized them all, and people reacted and responded so much. It was ridiculous. Like I
Yeah.
sold records on MySpace. I sold tickets to shows on MySpace. I
Nice.
released 3 independent albums on MySpace, and sold them out my truck. And one of
Back
them was
then,
a
when you
live
could do that
album.
on MySpace, man.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
And, yeah. But
Um,
yeah, I actually had a live album that I did at BB King's. I used to sell
okay.
that place out. BB King's and City Walk.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
three stories in that joint, and I used to sell it out so much so that they start having me either open up for the signed artist, or I would headline because they knew I was a draw. I was such a draw, you know.
Wow.
And what would
Wow.
happen was when they would have me open up, I would perform and I would do my hour set, and then the room would clear because everybody came to
They
see
came to
me.
see you. Yeah.
Right. So they was like, yo, we got to figure out a way to keep people in the building because, of course, they trying to sell drinks and then they want them to watch the other artists. So they would switch it around and have me headline sometimes just so that they could keep the crowd there till the end of the night, you know. So, yeah, like music, T Fly, you don't get T Fly without Bear Soul Entertainment, you
Right.
know. I had artists that I was working with, we was putting stuff out, and I basically put them through boot camp. Like, everything you've seen on making the band,
Yeah. Yeah.
all of that
Uh,
shit you seen with
so
Puffy, like that was me. Like I was a stickler, for perfection.
right.
We wasn't working with the best equipment or the best programs, but I was like, you use what you got. You know what I'm saying? So I created some diamonds out of that, and that's, like I said, that's how you get T-Fly,
Right.
and the reason why you don't hear about them today is because I didn't have my hands on them. Had I kept my hands on them, then he would have won a couple of Grammys right now and, been on a couple of world tours by now, which
Right.
I do regret, but I still love him. I appreciate, just what he did with what I gave him, and, that is what it is. But yeah, Bear Soul Entertainment, you probably see a resurgence, but it's really
Okay.
going to be just me doing my thing. And, I'm going to put this record out and see how it does. And if it does well, then cool, but I got a lot of other stuff that I'm working on as well.
Beautiful.
So,
So I
you
wanted to ask you. I want to ask you here. Actually, Precious asked this question in the chat. Um, how has COVID affected your business?
well, I mean, it's obviously affected it, and it's affected the truck in more ways than anything. Like the restaurants, they're cool. The numbers aren't what we want them to be, but they're consistent.
Okay.
And we do have days where it's like, ooh, why did we open these doors today? You know,
Mm,
um, but then we have days like, I'm glad I opened these doors. But with the truck, the thing is, throughout the year, especially like that April through I would say August, September,
yeah.
it's nothing but events going on in LA and all
Yeah.
over. So we
Right.
get a lot of events and then a lot of catering. Like we do catering for hundreds and hundreds of people at a time,
Yeah.
so we would get catering anywhere from 100 people to 5,000 people, so just imagine, you know,
Right. Right.
like, so let's say we gross I'm gonna just throw a number out there. Let's say we grossed 800 in a year.
Hmm.
A third of that was catering. Like it would break down. A third of it was catering. A third of it was pulling up on the streets and using our power with social media.
Hmm.
And the other third was events, because the events would always like be
Yeah.
crazy and crack off because of course we were the hot ticket. We were always the hot ticket.
Yeah.
So we would definitely, last year would have been 10 times better had COVID
Hmm.
not came
Had
around.
COVID not came around.
But it like we struggled,
Yeah.
and then the previous year was a struggle simply because we took the truck to Vegas and that didn't work out. So
Mm.
we took a lot of L's doing that, and then we lost the truck as well. So like 2018 into 2019, I mean 2019 into 2020 was just like I
Hmm.
was digging myself out of a hole from 2019, and I was finally like, okay, cool, we good, let's roll, we in here,
And the pandemic
and I
said,
know, right,
right.
you know, it was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
so I
Right.
mean, the good thing is the STEMIs and EDD and
Stimmies.
the PPP loans and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. That really is what helped us a lot, man. Like,
Hmm.
cause like we would just park on 83rd of Vermont, and we would hit our numbers every day. Sometimes
Wow.
exceed them. You
Wow.
know, that happened for probably 2 or 3 months, and then it just fell off. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it was like,
Right.
okay, they done ran out of money, you know. And then it's so funny because when the second round of stimmies came out, we saw immediate influx in our sales, and then they dropped off.
Yeah.
So right now it's just, we have to figure it out. So that's why we start traveling 4 days a week. Like you'll see us in San Bernardino, Lancaster, San Diego, Hesperia, just all of these different places,
Yeah.
because when we go out to these places, they don't get us all the time. So
Mm.
they show up in droves. So
Yeah. Right.
going to these different places every weekend, has helped keep us afloat just in these recent months.
Yeah.
So it's like it's been a blessing to have that, and you know, it's the COVID, ooh, yeah, and it's still definitely affecting us, but it's like now we're getting the calls from movie sets because film and TV is back in production.
Okay.
So we're starting to get the calls from the movie sets. We just got a call from Insecure. We did Insecure, I think it was last year. Our truck was featured in Insecure last
Hmm.
season,
Wow.
on one of the
Wow.
episodes. And so they just called us back to uh, do another. This is the last season, so they want to have us do it again,
Right.
but in a more visible capacity. So we'll see. That actually just came in today, so I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to
Right.
put
No,
no
don't.
juju on it,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
but I mean, it's one of those things where we know for sure it's going to happen. It's just, you don't want to put that, that juju on it. You want to
Right.
make
Right.
sure that, everything manifests. And then there's other stuff that I want to mention, but I can't really because it's some dope stuff, but I'm like, let me just keep quiet,
Right. And when it
and
happens, y'all, we're gonna see it. We're gonna see what's going
exactly,
on. I like that.
exactly,
I like that. So I want to jump in here because we don't have that much time, and there's a couple more things I want to jump into. I do want to talk about your philanthropy because you've done quite a bit. I remember you were doing the Lamert Park block party,
yes,
and then you also were doing the 100 Meals or Nothing. So I want to talk a
yeah.
little bit about that, about your philanthropy.
Well, yeah, the Lamert Park Block Party came about because one of the biggest issues that we had as a food truck was finding locations
Okay.
and getting in events, because all the events were outside of LA.
Okay.
Like all the food truck events, they were all outside of LA. There were really no food truck events going on in LA. Um, and any events that were going on in LA, they usually have people come and set up, they little kitchen, they set up little tents or whatever, right? So we were actually downtown one night. It was Art Walk, and we were going around and we seen this parking lot that was full of food trucks, and it was just like this hub for everybody that was downtown in Art Walk to come and get food.
Mm-hmm.
So our ambitious asses, we got there. My smoke jumped out the truck, ran over there, asked the organizer, like, what is this? What's going on? Da da da, And they told him, and he like, what's up? Can we pull up? And and he like, well, no, we already have it organized. We already have our trucks. Da da da. He's like, what's up? We'll pay. Like he wasn't taking no for answer.
Mm.
And so at the same time we were doing that, Happy Ice had pulled up, and they were questioning about it, asking questions about it. And Happy Ice had just gotten in from Philly.
Mm.
They had just brought their truck from Philly or whatever and was just
Yeah.
getting everything rolling out here in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't really know anybody. They weren't, accustomed to just how things were out here. So they were just like us, just
Mm-hmm.
trying to find spots, grinding, going to hot spots, different events that was going on, checking them out, seeing where the food trucks are, if they're food trucks, so on and so forth. So
Yeah.
we met them that night, and we ended up talking a little bit, and we we were talking about how we do a lot of these events outside of LA with the others, people that are not us. And, we would pay for these events. We would pay all this money to do these events.
Mm-hmm.
And people would literally just walk by our truck, And of course, we looking at it as this, like, we out here, we one of the best food trucks out here.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all passing by us going to these whack, rinky dink, no flavor having ass trucks. So, of course, immediately I'm thinking like, it's this right here, this melanin. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like
Okay. Okay.
they not rocking with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm not gonna keep spending $200-300, sometimes $500 to do an event
Mm-hmm.
and only make $200-300.
Yeah.
It just was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, we could start our own food truck event, and we'll have all black owned food trucks, and we'll
Yeah.
introduce all the black owned food trucks to LA, because at the time the black owned food trucks that were around, we knew of them, but they were like, well, because we was pulling up on 39th and Crenshaw. Wasn't nobody doing that.
Right.
We was
Right.
pulling up on Manchester and Western. Wasn't nobody doing that. Especially if like the only thing you see is taco trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And the black owned food trucks, they would go out and travel out and pay for these events or try to get in these areas and do in these office buildings, because they were like, black people don't want to spend money. And I'm like, shit, these niggas is coming and spending in droves. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, our people support us. Like I was screaming that at the top of my lungs and people wasn't hearing me, right? So, um, we started the Block Party. Shout out to Kamani Black with the 10th District, Herb Wesson.
Yeah.
Kimani, he was a friend of Taco Mel's, and he just happened to see me in Taco Mel one day getting food. And he got at me like, yo, what's up? You with the Billionaire Burger Boys? I know about y'all. Dot dot dot, and he was like, I'm gonna come see y'all. He came and ate food and he just loved it. Like he brought Herb and everything. And so of course it was like, yo, what district is Lamert Park in? He's like, oh, that's District 10, that's us. Oh, really? Okay. Well, look, we want to do an event on Friday nights once a month.
Mm-hmm.
When we have all black owned food trucks, we'll set it up and we'll do it coordinated and dot dot dot. So we went through all of the channels and got that done. Um, and it was just really just for the community, for the people,
Wow.
and it was our first time doing it. Every single truck sold out. Every truck sold out. It was over 5,000 people that came through, and it was like, okay, bam. It became like a mini taste of soul every month, and we would get upwards of 3,000 people coming through there
Three
every
thousand
month.
people going to Lamert Park.
Lamert Park. We pretty much made
That's
Lamert Park
beautiful.
relevant again.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
don't know that, or they probably ain't gonna say it, but we made Lamert Park relevant again. You know what I mean? Like we literally turned Lamert Park into a destination place, because of the events that we created. And then people start doing events in Lamert Park all the time. It got to a point where they was like dealing exclusively with us to get trucks for different events that they were having going on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and we like I said, we're ambitious, so we created themes about around each block party. Like we had the frat night where it was nothing but like you wore your colors. So whatever sorority or fraternity you're a part of, you wore your colors. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and we created our own crest. And all that, the Billionaire Burger University and all that. We didn't go as far as to try to use the letters. We wanted to respect them as much as possible, because they can be a little irate when you start trying to get off into their territory. So respectfully,
Yeah.
we got at them and was like, yo, we want to do this. Will you support it? And a couple of the organizations, they supported it. And so we had a good turnout, and
Wow.
people was coming through we start playing their songs, and people was doing their dance, like doing their line dances and different things like that. It was dope. We
Yeah.
had luchador wrestlers in the middle of Lamert Park with a wrestling ring. You know what I'm saying? Like legit fighting,
They
like
were
for real,
wrestling.
for Cinco de Mayo. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
God.
We
What?
did a throwback night. We did a '90s night, a throwback night. Everybody came through with their throwback gear on, had their old school jerseys, and it was like every time we did a thing, people participated.
Mm-hmm.
And then to cap off the year, we had the Pointer Sisters to come out. Wait, no, the emotions.
Really?
Yeah, um, because we know, shoot, I forgot her name, but their daughter Wayne, shoot, what's his last name? I can't think of their name right now, and I know these people. They're like my folks, and I can't come up with a name right now. But he wrote "Let's Groove Tonight,"
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of other popular songs you
So
don't
you
know.
actually
I mean,
had
that
them
you know,
come out to Lamert Park.
bruh. They came out and they performed. It was the family reunion. That was the theme of the block party
That
month.
week. Oh yeah, that month. Yeah.
So it was like it was the family reunion. And so we got the emotions, and they came and turned that thing out. But like I would perform at every block party. Like I would do a couple of songs. Me and Jen and a Smoke would get up there and do Bobby Brown. We'll do No Diggity, Black Street. Just different little joints that we would do on the truck. We did them at the block party too. Just to
Yeah.
bring the entertainment element, dance contest, the life size games. We had the game truck. It was a beautiful thing. No issues, never. I mean, we sage that thing down every time, but we've never had an issue. We
Yeah.
had gangbangers that gangs like rival gangs are literally, walking by saying what's up to each other, and just it was all peace.
That's
It was
awesome. That's
it was not
awesome.
one incident at any of those events, bro.
Yeah.
But it spread like wildfire, and so everybody started doing events in the Merck Park. Everybody started doing food truck events. Now you go and you see food trucks, gourmet food trucks all over LA, South LA now.
Yeah.
And people ain't gonna do it, but you have Billionaire Burger Boys to thank for that. Like
Wow.
honestly, that's the reason why you see these trucks on Manchester and Western. It's because of Billionaire Burger Boys. Like we created that, and I stand firm on that, and I stand strong on that because before us, nobody was pulling up in LA. Nobody believed in LA.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Nobody believed you could actually put on an event, a food truck event, and it'd be successful and it
Yeah.
don't have no issues and no security. We didn't have security. We had LAPD, but shit, we only had like 2 officers,
Right. Right.
but they never had to trip. Like, and then the people, I don't know what you call them. I call them transients. In Leimert Park, they loved us and they would help us. Like they was nigger rigging the lights to where we could have lights and power and crap like that. Like they loved it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
the reception for it was just so beautiful and it was just so peaceful. And it's something we definitely want to bring back. The 100 meals or nothing. That was something that I started because a friend of mine, she's down there every Thursday. Love My Neighbor Foundation. She's down there every
Okay.
Thursday.
Okay.
You can actually go and donate food, clothes, whatever on that day, or you can hit her up on Instagram, Love My Neighbor on Instagram, to donate or whatever. Or if you want to just go volunteer, they're there every Thursday on 7th and St. Pedro.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm
Good to
like,
know.
I want to get into giving back as well. So instead of me doing something like around Christmas or Thanksgiving, I'm like, we'll do this once a month. So we'll devote one day out of the month to going down here and giving away 100 meals. And
Yeah.
we started doing that, and it was the most beautiful thing to the point where they were like literally like they knew the day we were coming.
That's
They
cool.
anticipated it, and so on and so forth. So it just became this beautiful thing. Honestly, the reason why we haven't done it in a while is because like it's low key been hard on us. Everything's been hard on us, so we've been trying to just stay afloat, really. So it's like every little thing we can, we take it. Or opportunity we can, we take it. So it's something that we definitely gonna get back into it.
Yeah.
Once we figure things out and get everything set and rolling, and hopefully the world opens back up.
Yeah.
But we're
Right.
definitely gonna get back into
Right.
that, and the block party will be back in full effect. So we definitely gonna get back into the community efforts because that's another thing. It's like for me, that's where that's what keeps us blessed. That's what keeps us going. I'm from LA. I'm from South LA. I was born and raised. I used to go to Leimert Park to the drum circles, and Leimert Park is like one of my favorite places in LA because it's the blackest place in LA.
Yeah.
And one of
Yeah.
my dreams is to own a house in Leimert Park and live there. So for me, it was just an easy call, but I definitely want to get back into that and just bringing that whole community effort back to just what we do, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So that's definitely the goal.
Well, listen, I appreciate you, stopping in and interviewing with us. We almost, we run out of time, but I want to, like I said, thank you for coming on and speaking with
Thank
us.
you.
The fact that you had a story going from being fired from Walmart to what it has become now.
Mhm.
Um, and one of the things that you didn't even have a chance to mention is your run on grocery games. Um,
Oh,
I mean, so
that too.
like just from afar, just because I know you, I've seen
Of
quite
course.
a bit of what you've been able to do from culinary extraordinaire all the way up to you going on grocery games and
Mhm.
winning,
Right.
folks,
Twice.
winning grocery games.
Twice.
So
Don't forget that.
twice. So we're definitely very much proud of you. Um, the name that you were actually looking for was Wayne Vaughn, by the way.
Wayne Vaughn, yes,
Wayne Vaughn, yeah.
the Vaughns. That's they're my folks, man. Like I love them. You know, they like family. I can go over their house, hang out, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
you know, they're a phone call away. You know, like they're so cool. They're so blessed. Their family is really tight. You know, they really exemplify like the perfect family. Now I
yeah,
know they're flawed in whatever ways that they are, but they really love on each other and they really here for each other, have each other backs, and you know, just being able to be a part of that and catch that vibe. You know, I
yeah.
got invited to the cookout, so I knew I was good then. You know, so yeah, man, yeah, Wayne
Man, we
Vaughn, that's my guy,
appreciate
man.
you
I love
for
Wayne Vaughn.
real. I mean,
Yes,
you
sir.
got a lot of love in here, man. I'm telling you, they even want you to come back, and we definitely got to work it out to where you can come back so that people can know about what you guys are doing.
No doubt.
Um, and it was very inspiring to hear this story. I
Thank
don't
you.
think they're gonna let us leave without us doing this duet, so we might as well just go on and do it.
What we gonna do?
What we gonna do? Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Lift every voice and sing.
Oh
It's
Jesus.
Black History Month.
Go to the R&B side of things, Tim.
All
Just
right, okay, what you got for R&B then? Let's
I
go. Let's
don't
go.
know. Shoot.
John Legend, So High. I don't know.
Um, baby, since the day you came into my life, you made me realize that we were born to fly. You showed me everything, new possibilities. You proved my fantasies what love could really be. Go.
Let us go to a place only lovers go, to a spot that we've never known, to the top of the clouds we'll floating away. Yeah, I knew it feels so
Ooh, feels so
crazy.
crazy.
I know this love is blazing. Baby, we're so
So
high,
high,
walking on
walking on
clouds
clouds,
high,
so high.
so high.
All right, that's good enough
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They'll be all right.
I
Y'all be all
appreciate
right.
you, man. Yeah, yeah. We had
Oh,
to,
wait.
what?
So look, I'm about to start doing this thing called living room sessions. So it's like tiny desks, but
Okay.
it's gonna be for local artists and just people that want to sing. So I'm definitely gonna start doing that and just featuring people. I'm gonna do that once a month. So I'm supposed to be doing
Beautiful.
one next week. I just want to create it and start doing it, and hopefully it'll grow into something, you know. So yeah, man, I look forward to it. I'm definitely gonna be making announcements, so please be looking out for that.
We
The
definitely
living room
will.
sessions will be in full effect. I don't know if you saw my live when I was singing or that video I posted where I was singing with my brother and the dude on the keyboard. Have you seen that?
I don't think I have. Is
Oh,
this
you sleep,
something you
bro.
posted? This is something you posted recently?
Yep, just recently, like probably like 2 weeks ago.
I'm gonna go check it out.
But yeah, I just went live on Instagram and song, and then I posted the video on Instagram and on Facebook. But yeah, man, it's definitely something that we enjoyed, and people like the response was crazy. So it's like might as well turn it into something. So we're gonna go
Yeah.
with the full band, the whole nine, like, and do an actual performance, you know, and then hopefully that'll inspire other artists to want to come and do it right in my living room.
Hey, well, I'm gonna definitely be over there. I'm gonna pop in for sure.
No
Um,
doubt, no doubt,
but man, we appreciate you coming in, man. Hours just not enough time, so we
ever.
definitely it's not
It
enough
never
time,
is
man,
because I
because you
talk too
got so
much.
much going on. Be- we spent an hour just talking about the story and how
Yeah,
everything came together. We couldn't even get into all
yeah.
the other stuff you got going on. So man,
That's
we
why I
just
need
so
to write a
proud of
book.
you. Man, you
Thank
got
you,
to
man.
write
I
that book.
appreciate it. Yeah, I got to write
Uh,
a book, man.
so Will talking about he coming in with the third part. He want to do a three-part harmony.
Oh, okay. Well, pull up to the living room sessions. We can make it happen.
So listen, man, we appreciate you. We will be having you come back, sometime in the future.
Yes,
So
sir.
everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Next
Thank
week
you,
we're gonna
guys.
have Chef. Yes, sir. So next week we're gonna have Chef Cheryl Tate. She's gonna be stopping in as part of our community Hour Power. So make sure you tune in. And once again, Derek, man, we appreciate you. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
sir.
for spending your time with us.
Yes, sir. You gonna share this to Facebook?
Definitely. Always gonna be
All
on
right,
Facebook.
cool. Cool, because I want to be able to share it.
Definitely, man. All right. Take care. Bye, everybody.